Okay, time to start up my Redstone tutorial if I can get this stream working. Which it looks like we have a go. Alright, today I'm going to be going over the basics of Redstone. Most simple stuff on it. To some slightly more complex stuff. Hold on. To some slightly more stuff on it. To some slightly more stuff on it. To some slightly more. That was annoying. Okay. Going over the basics of Redstone up to some slightly more complicated stuff. And we're going to go one step at a time and show you guys everything about it and how everything works. Now, first thing to know is that there are 4 power sources for Redstone. One being a lever, second is a button, third is a pressure plate, and fourth is a torch. We're going to go ahead and go over the unique behaviors of each one real quick, starting with the lever. Now, the lever powers the block below it. The block on the side of it, this side, and this side. So when you turn a lever on, any of these things are going to be powered. Plus, blocks coming out from the lever itself.
Hi there.
These are all the areas that are powered by a lever. The lever is just straight up off or on. Nothing else to
How's it
it.
going?
Button will power the exact same spaces as a lever does. I didn't show that it powered the block below today. There we go. There we go. So those are all the areas that are powered by the lever. A button powers the same areas around it. A pressure plate will only power below it and to the sides, not above it. And a torch will power everything around it in all directions. So if you put a block over the torch, it'll still power above it and everything. Hey Redstone, I'm going over a basic tutorial of, well, how to use Redstone. From the most basics to the most advanced. Ooh. Now, if you sorry, got lost in what I was doing for a second there. Okay, moving on to the torch from the lever. Like I said, the button's going to do the same thing as the lever, except instead of a constant on or off, a button is only going to be a pulse based on how you press it, or based on how long Minecraft has it in. Torch, on the other hand, a torch can be on or off, depending on whether or not the block that it's on is powered. So let's put another torch over here to power Redstone, and run that power into this block, and it turns the torch off. But as soon as we turn off the first torch, second torch turns back on. You can use that as a way to determine when things are on and off. Easiest way to understand Redstone without getting into all the technical stuff is just whether or not there is power and how long something has power for. Go ahead and put a piston down here on the end. When there's no power, the piston's in. Once you give it power by making sure this torch is on, it goes up. Now, torches turn themselves off also if you're not careful, which just makes them flicker until they burn out. And that is because the torch powers this block. So if you were to put redstone above it, the torch is turning or powering the block that it's on and turning itself off. So those are the most basic ways of how to start power and get it places with redstone. The next thing we're going to look into is actual redstone lines and diodes or repeaters, depending on what you prefer to call them. Now, the farthest that a redstone line can go out is 15 blocks. The 16th one will be completely powerless. The way to extend this is with repeaters. Work great to extend something and start it over for another 15. So if you need to put redstone over a long distance, the repeater is the thing to use. Now they have two other functions. One is that they will only take redstone in from the back of them, and they will only put redstone out the front. So they are singular directional. So if you have one going this way and one going that way, it won't power the second one because it can't take input from the front, only from the back. Which also means, if you need to run two redstone circuits close to each other without having them cross, that you can use repeaters for it because it keeps them from crossing channels at all. Otherwise, if you didn't have the repeater there, it would cross the redstone channels. The third function that diodes have is delay. Right now, it'll take 1/10 of a second for redstone to pass from this side to this side. Every tick of delay, which you get by right-clicking on it, adds 1/10 of a second. So that's 2, 3, 4/10 of a second per repeater. So if you want a full second of delay, that right there would give a full second of delay. 4, 4, and 2 for 10/10 of a second. Those are the three primary functions of diodes. Now, they also have the nice ability of being able to transfer power through blocks. They're the only way to transfer power diagonally down through a block, but if they don't have the diagonally down, they don't transfer the power at all. Because what they're doing is they're powering this block and the block below it. Since this block's powered, it powers the redstone on the other side of it, but if it's not there, you're not getting the power anywhere at all. The diode has to actually go into something. Diodes can be powered from above. For instance, if you have redstone up here, it powers the block that it's on, so it allows the diode to take power out of it, even if the section up here is blocked off. If you see, we put regular redstone there, it doesn't power it at all. So you have to have a diode either on the bottom or the top. However, a diode cannot power another one because it's sending the power forward, not down. Only redstone dust sends the power down. Maybe you replace that with dust. And the reason that it doesn't power the diode is the diode, remember, takes the energy or takes the power in from the back, not the top, whereas this is getting powered from the top. So that's the most basic stuff of how to get power around and how to get it started and stopped. Hey, yes, how's it going, man? The lever and button, like I said, will power the same squares around it. Both of them power the same squares in the same directions. The torch powers every direction around it. Pressure plate will go below it and from the sides, but not above it. 15 redstone dust can be put in a line before it needs to be extended. I'll give you a little tip here. If you have to extend over a really long distance and time means a lot to you. You don't want whatever it is that you're building to be slow. Instead of just putting a repeater every 15 seconds, go ahead and have your redstone link into a block that links into a repeater into another block that'll power the redstone on the other side. That makes your 16 long, 15 redstone plus 1 repeater actually 18 long, so it gives you an extra 2 space of distance that doesn't actually add to the timing that it takes for the whole thing. Hey Jace Gaming, how's it going? And Matt, nice to see you guys. So if you are doing a long distance with redstone and you don't want things to run slower, after you do 15 redstone dust, stone, diode, stone, and then back to 15 redstone dust after that, and that will help you for long-term things, cut down on lag and the time that it takes to do stuff. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to go is we are going to cover just basic pistons, because most things that people make in Minecraft with redstone are just going to be doors and stuff. Now, there are 2 types of pistons. There's a sticky piston and then a regular piston. For the sticky pistons, they will actually bring a block back with them when they close. However, the non-sticky pistons will just push it out and leave it there. So if you are doing a door, for instance, you're going to want sticky pistons so that the door can open and close instead of just close. Now, most common way to activate a door is with pressure plates. Like I said before, those will power the blocks below them most easily, so you can actually use them real good to hide your circuits away. We'll go ahead and clear ourselves out some space here real quick. Ooh, wrong thing. That's supposed to be a block. Run our redstone line out. And now, like I told you guys before, if a torch has power going into the block that it's on, it'll turn the torch off. So, the pressure plate powers the redstone, goes around, and turns that torch off, which will turn both pistons off. You do that out to both sides, and you've got yourself a nice, simple little door. Little 2x2 door is pretty much the most basic, easy thing in the world you can make with redstone. Now, let's say you don't have enough space to, do the 3 out and everything like that, and you want it to be a bit more compact everywhere except the door space. You can use torches and the fact that they turn themselves off to build up a door as high as you want and have it being only 1 wide for the core of everything. Now, when you do this, they will power all the pistons going out from them. And then all you have to do is just, let's go ahead and put 1 more block up here. All you have to do for this is just turn off this bottom row of 3 torches. You'd obviously build this down below the ground and whatnot, have it extend another level down below your actual pistons here. But as soon as they are given power from anything, they turn each other off. Now, torches also have a tiny bit of a delay when it comes to turning them on and off, so the higher you go with this, the longer it'll take for the top to open. It won't be simultaneous. See, there's a little wave effect back and forth. But that's a great way to have huge doors that don't take up much space, other than the triangle leading up to them. Okay. Next thing we're going to cover is pass-through blocks. Just about every block in the game will pass a redstone circuit through it, with the exception of glass. Glass doesn't actually pass through at all. So if you are doing circuits close to each other and you don't want to use the diodes for timing and whatnot, you can just place glass in between them so that no matter how close you come or anything, the glass will actually stop it from passing through. Okay, and then we need to go over glowstone. Glowstone has a very unique property when it comes to redstone, and that's the fact that it allows you to transfer signal up. For an indeterminate distance. Glowstone allows you to keep stacking, or for 15 blocks actually, you still, oops, wrong one. You're still limited by the same amount of blocks as regular redstone can go. But glowstone counts itself as being powered, and it powers the block above it when it does so. So you can use glowstone to go a huge way up real easy. You could also use slabs and stairs. That is something I've actually never heard before, but I want to test it now. Like so. Ah, apparently I get to learn stuff today too. That is awesome. I didn't actually know that. So, not only glowstone, you can also use slabs and yep, and stairs as well. Oh, that's awesome, Redstone. Thanks. I love learning new stuff. Every time you think you know just about everything about something, you always end up learning something new. So that's the way you can carry signal up. Easiest way to carry signal down if you're completely restricted on space is just with torches. Helps when we get in the right spot. Now these torches will turn each other on and off because they're powering the blocks below them. Viewers like that are the best ones. They actually keep you engaged and talking and stuff. You can take signal down by like this with torches, though that is going to be slow depending on how long you take it down, because the longer you go down with it, the more time delay you'll have in from the ticks. If space isn't a limitation, then you can just run regular redstone down like this. Now, if you're coming close to the point where you're going to run out of a redstone line, don't forget, without taking up any extra space, you can just put a repeater in like that, since it'll be powered from the block below it, and powers diagonally down. So once you get to the end of your 15, you can just set this up on stairs that you're running down to give you...
I totes forgot I was in vent, and I walked away from the computer.
That's cool, I'm doing a redstone tutorial right now anyway. You know that shit you hate.
Oh, yeah. Then why the fuck am I still here?
Very good question.
I'm gonna go scream at Dungeon Defender.
Okay, so we've gone over the basics of what provides power, how it provides power, and how long.
Because Minecraft won't let me on.
Now we're going to cover a tiny bit more advanced stuff that is just kind of fun to play around with and used in most of the types of things that
Anyways, be back in a bit, bitches. Ah!
you're going to be using in stuff that you'll build in Minecraft. Now, one is a lot of people don't like having...
if you're in the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, the Department of Defense,
hate ads.
where your family is.
a lot of people do not like having
Or go to NavyFederal.org
levers
for more information.
for doors and stuff like that. Would prefer a button that can separately open and close a door. What this right here does is this will switch what's happening. Let's say you just have this right here coming out, and this will tell your door whether to be open or closed. Now, for this to work, you have to only give this a 0.3 of a second pulse. To give a 3-second pulse, you have to do something to limit how long it gets a pulse for. Or 0.3 of a second, rather. So, 3 ticks of a repeater, like I said earlier, will give it a 3-second pulse. And what we're building here is a simple way to limit how long a pulse can go through. And I'll explain this, don't worry. Okay, basis of this is this torch right here. This torch is powering this block, so it keeps this torch off. When we power the block that the torch is on, it's going to turn that signal off instantly, so this torch can be on, but 0.3 of a second later, the power is going to get through to this block again to turn it back off. So it'll only give it a 0.3 of a second pulse when we push it. Watch this redstone here to see how long it's powered for, and this redstone here from this button. See, the second one is only powered for 0.3 of a second. You can barely even notice it. And that makes it to where these pistons will push out without taking back in. So we've just made a button into an on-off switch. Just by pressing it, we're switching whether this door is open or closed instead of allowing it to be one way or the other. And of course, you know, you can have buttons on opposite sides of the walls and stuff that'll both control the same thing, however you want to have them go, so that people on opposite sides of the wall can press a button to toggle whether the thing that you're trying to do is open or closed. Now, I'm making this very, very big. When I actually build stuff, it's a hell of a lot more compact, but I'm making it nice and big and spread out so you guys can see how every aspect of it works. Now, the reason this works is because when a sticky piston only gets a 0.3 of a second pulse, it won't actually pull the block down with it. The block on top of it doesn't have time to register being in the space above it before it pulls back down. So it'll actually just leave it out. press it again, it'll leave it in. Now, if you want to simplify this whole thing, instead of having something that switches like this, you can just have this go straight to your doors. No torches or anything like that needed. Like so. And since it's only a 0.3 of a second pulse, it'll just pop. I don't know why I put that one there. It'll just pop them out or pull them back every time you press it. And that lets you only have this piece of it right here that limits the pulse, and your door goes straight into it. Gets rid of all the other steps to it. But this has more of a chance to bug out from server lag and duplicate blocks or destroy blocks. So I prefer using a solid powered method like this. This is also great for making traps and stuff like that. So let's say you wanted to make a trap. You wanted a person to press a button to open a door, and then, 5 seconds later or whatever, have it open up a pit under them that they wouldn't have seen coming because they'd already be over it. So you've got your door right here. It helps if I know what I'm doing. There we go. That's what I want to do. So, you have your door right here that would open after they press the button. Then what you do is you add in a delay on the other side using repeaters. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and there's a 2-second delay. Clear ourselves some room here. We're assuming this is a one-wide corridor here. And after 2 seconds, you want it to pull these blocks back. Oh, if I can do this right. Trying to make this big enough to be able to see him is not fun. So anyway, got 2 seconds of timing and little walkway here. They press the button to open the door, and then 2 seconds later, it drops the floor out from them, about where they'd be from walking across it. If they actually start in the right spot. And then you just mess around and, God, I can't even walk through this. I'm apparently horrible at walking in Minecraft. Give me something to build and I can build it, but ask me to walk? No, thank you. Okay, that was a bit too quick, so we'd want to add a tiny bit more delay. You just add stuff in and shit, make it bigger. And that's how you do simple timing traps and stuff like that. You just use the diodes to add the amount of time to go into the second one. Same signal from the first one, and carry it on.
Ugh.